a group of friends. One picks a movie the others haven't seen. And then they talk about it and stuff. This is Blind Find.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Blind Finds. This episode we're watching Adam Sandler's third film on Netflix called Sandy Wexler.
Who is this girl? Excuse me, I'm Sandy Wexler. Don't we talk somewhere? I'm a talent manager.
We'll turn it over to you guys. What did you think of the movie overall?
First off, let's, which camera am I? Introduce, this is a special episode of Blind Finds. We got some food here. Some food. We're eating some food.
Oh, we can finally eat now, that's right. Yeah. What were your initial thoughts immediately after viewing the film?
Nothing seemed to matter, and I've never felt more nihilistic in my entire life. I was like, this movie's budget's what, $60 million probably?
Yeah.
Fucking why? You know? But it personally was not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very strange film. I was also very depressed after viewing it.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of strange. There was like one or two parts where I thought was kind of funny. One part I was actually just laughing at Adam Sandler.
Yeah, it wasn't...
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't completely unfunny.
Just the idiocy of some parts of it were just hilarious.
Some of the parts you're watching and you're like... Ironically, I think this is funny. Like, because you're just wondering what dominoes fell to lead to this film, to like these jokes happening.
Yeah.
For example, there's a great scene involving a raccoon.
Yeah, by the way,
Run the clip, Charlie.
For any of you viewers out there who haven't seen it, this is a spoiler warning for the film.
That's it. Choose. No more.
He kills a fucking raccoon.
Destroys it with a baseball bat and it like physically combusts.
It was great. That part was amazing. The rest of the film just couldn't hold up to that.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple funny parts. There's the one part with the raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then there's the one part where he falls on the table and it collapses. He's like, ah! I thought that was funny.
When he rips like a piece of a magazine off. It's like fashion. He's like, so he's in the store and he's looking around. He's trying to keep it quiet. Him ripping it. So he's like, ah! And just like rips it off, dude. It was so weird.
It's like Jesus, man.
And his cackle was so annoying.
Yes.
He'd keep yelling. Let's do a little reenactment for you guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It was so annoying, dude.
Yeah,
He's
honestly.
playing like it was.
And
Adam, what are you doing?
And there were several times in the movie where I had no idea what was being said.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were talking about.
That was
because I couldn't understand his voice. I was like, "Are you Tom Hardy from The Dark Knight?"
I feel like in a way that was almost intentional because they kept bringing out
Like the script sucks.
Throughout the movie they kept bringing up the fact that you can't understand what he's saying. So there's a possibility that was intentional just to give the film more.
They were like, "Hey, Adam, just more incomprehensible."
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like close your mouth more when you talk, raise your tongue, like.
Yeah.
You think we're annoying doing the voice?
Mm-hmm.
Watch the movie.
Oh my god. And then watch it. 2 hour long movie.
Wiz puts on the movie. I'm like, all right, this will be a fun hour 30 minutes. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes. It hurt.
The first time we go to check how much time's left, we're like, oh, there has to be at least an hour gone. Barely 30 minutes have passed. It's a long movie.
Definitely, and it feels longer than it is.
Yeah.
It felt like 13 hours.
That's because each scene. Well, okay, I'm not gonna say that. Every 10 minutes, there's approximately like 5 scenes, and of the 5 scenes, each one is completely different because none of the scenes lead to anything. Mm-hmm. They're like abbreviated sketches that just kind of get plotted throughout the entire movie.
It almost seemed like there's a lot of like. Seems like Adam sat down with his writers. That he worked with 2 other people that wrote this, and it's almost like, yo, wouldn't it be funny if this happened? So they put all these scenes in that don't lead.
But he
anywhere.
only came up with like 3 moments where he was like, it'd be funny if this happened, and then he has to string together the rest of the
so then
movie.
he's like, now let's put a scene around it. What if I hit a raccoon and it blew up? Like, there's a lot of scenes. That scene actually drove the plot forward. So there was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I just personally think there's a lot of parts where I'm like, why is this in here? Why is this 2 hours?
There is a scene where he's being seduced by this lady, this actress or whatever, and
60 years old.
she like throws him onto the bed. She's like
All for a
all up in
joke.
his face or whatever. He looks over, her dying husband's staring there. It's a funny premise for a love scene.
Mm-hmm.
Then he walks away and it ends. You're like, oh.
There's like no point.
Yeah, and it doesn't have any impact on the rest of the movie.
So prior to viewing this movie, did you think Sandy Wexler was like a real person? Especially when watching trailers, having all the celebrities in there saying,
I kinda
this
did.
guy was great.
I kind of thought
Oh, like he was based on someone that actually was.
Yeah.
originally because like I've heard of this movie before.
Mhm.
I originally thought
I had
it
never
was,
heard of this movie.
thought it was like a biopic or something, like of a drama or something. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
Adam's doing something different, but it was kind of the same old.
Yeah.
Not as bad as some of his other films, but yeah, they did have that feel, and it was so weird. They set up these like right here. They set these people talking about him, and like the past tense
In modern day, yeah.
because it's in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why did they just set up the scenes to like pay all his friends and have a little party scene? It was so weird, and it didn't really pay off.
It pays off at the very end.
But it didn't really pay off that much.
It doesn't make any
It's
sense
just like
because,
there's an anniversary. Yeah, it's kind of.
because he gets engaged to the
Spoilers.
singer. Yeah, we'll get into this later. But he gets
Yeah.
engaged to the singer at the
really
end,
care.
and then they don't get married until modern day, and the engagement scene takes
That's-
place in the 90s, right?
Yes, takes place in the 90s.
Were they getting married, or was that like an anniversary?
He
That was-
asked him to marry her,
Yeah.
and then that was the wedding at the end, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because I remember them saying, like, for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Wexler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the reason I asked is because it's a satirical homage to Adam Sandler's old agent named Sandy Warner. And it was actually based off.
So it's
a
all
real
an
person.
inside joke.
Yes, it
Makes
is.
sense.
Essentially an inside joke. I don't believe he was this insane or this, like,
Sandy Warner.
yeah, Sandy Warner was.
He's probably like, fuck this movie, dude.
Okay, well,
Why'd you make this?
I feel like that might explain why some of the movie feels mundane, because these are probably things that actually happen in this Sandy guy's real life
Mhm.
that just weren't
Hey,
as entertaining as it should be for a movie. You know?
Yeah.
Like maybe he had maybe his agent had the don't swim in the pool rule. For like in the movie, Sandy lives in the pool house of his.
it's a weird joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never really.
He lives
paid
in a
off.
pool house and he's not allowed to swim in the pool.
Don't swim in the pool.
And I feel like a lot of these things came from the actual agent's real life, but they aren't given any context in the context of the movie.
Do you think Adam Sandler really tried on this film? Do you think he tried to make a good movie?
I feel
Or
like he doesn't
did he
know.
kind of cash in?
I feel like he doesn't know he was filmed. Like,
Yeah.
he was just, like, that's just Adam. They're just like, hey, Adam, look at the camera. He's like,
It was all like one take.
yeah.
That's good.
I'm sure he cared about it because
And we were talking like, the film actually looks good. It's actually lit pretty well.
that's one of the things I like about it is it's
Yeah.
shot decently well.
Yeah.
It's not like, we're not gonna say it's 100% horrible. There are some redeemable parts. There are a couple jokes that kind of hit.
Yeah.
Um,
He definitely did it more for fun, though.
yeah, that kind of seems like he does movies now. They're all like big student films or something. You
Yeah.
know? Or big like YouTube videos.
When Netflix approached him for this 4-picture deal, I read that he said yes only because, for one reason, is that Netflix rhymes with wet chicks. And that's why he took
Where did you hear
I
that?
read it on several articles, so the same thing.
It's online, it's real.
Yeah, if it's online, it is in fact a fact. Okay, so how would you rank this among other this type of comedy films.
You mean like
So just
Adam
like
studio
Sandler?
comedies
yes.
or Adam Sandler movies? Because I feel like they're two completely different.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How would you rank this among Adam Sandler movies?
Like compared to his newer stuff?
Like nothing tops Jack and Jill.
I
obviously.
mean, I feel like it's not as funny as some of his newer stuff in the fact that you're laughing at him. But it definitely seems like it's more. It almost seems better than his newer stuff because it seems like he almost gave up on his newer stuff. You know, he's almost like, I'm rich, bitch. No, but he's like, I'm rich. I want to make these films with my friends. Don't really care. Seems like he tried a little bit more on this. Something a little different than what he usually does.
It did feel.
But it wasn't great.
Yeah.
One thing I was impressed with was him keeping up the voice the entire runtime.
Yes.
I was
Like-
shocked.
Like Keanu Reeves and
He's
Dracula.
singing in that voice in the end scene. I'm like, he actually did it. He actually.
I wonder if he
That's-
thought like this is gonna be great. This is gonna be next Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
He went full retard. I think that's the problem.
you never go full retard.
What was your guys' favorite cameo? in the movie?
Oh god.
Because there was a
Vanilla
plethora.
Ice.
Yeah,
There's
there was a
Vanilla Ice in it.
plethora of cameos.
I don't know
Who's
what
in that
Vanilla
one?
Ice looks like.
He looks like Vanilla Dude in Ice.
No.
They had a baby.
Oh yeah.
Favorite cameo, dude.
I personally think Conan O'Brien's really funny, so I was happy to see him in it.
I kind of felt betrayed that Conan O'Brien was in it. Dude. He's
I
one of
also
my
felt-
favorite Tonight Show hosts.
He's my favorite, yeah. And
I do really like Conan O'Brien also. I'm trying to think like. Oh, Terry Crews. I felt like am I saying his name right? I think he's a hilarious guy, and it's kind of sad that even in the shitty Adam Sandler movies, he's still like the best part. He was just kind of a boring character in this. So it was always seemed like mopey, and like, why am I doing this? Why do I gotta be losing? He wasn't that funny in this. He's usually that spark of light. In
he's
the
the
dark.
Old Spice guy.
He's the hero we need but don't deserve. You know.
Yes.
He usually brightens up my life, but today he.
Not this time.
I was a little.
I don't know, like none of the cameos I was like, oh, are you serious? Like, for example, at the beginning he's like, my first client was Alfred. I was like, that's kind of a dumb line. And at the end it pays off. It's Weird Al. He's like, okay. It's a cool cameo. That was the only cameo that was set up and paid off.
Yeah.
In like a shitty
There's
way.
a lot of weird jokes that keep reoccurring, and Adam does it. Sorry, I just spit on your leg. Sorry, I just spit on your dick.
It's okay, I like it.
There's a lot of weird jokes that keep like recurring, and I feel like Adam Sandler does this in a lot of his movies, and they're not funny. He just keeps dragging them out. Keeps beating
Well,
a dead horse.
he picks the wrong jokes to be
like the dog joke.
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Why don't they like me, but they like you? You know.
The joke I wish would have reoccurred was killing a rodent in like a graphic way.
Honestly,
I
that
wish that would
be
that would have
10
been
times better.
after the raccoon scene, I wanted more graphic, unnecessary violence,
yeah.
just out of nowhere. And I mean, you kind of get it with the dead husband when the lady's.
That's kind of funny, yeah.
Yeah.
And my favorite scene. My favorite scene is the scene towards the end when the what's it called? The puppeteer hangs himself.
Why did you?
Oh yeah.
That is my favorite scene.
That was
in
so
the-
dark.
That was so well shot too.
That was so random, though.
That felt like it was in a completely different movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did.
That one scene was funnier than the
It
rest
seems
of
like
the
Adam's like, what if we have a puppet that hangs himself and the puppets? It was like so weird.
They did talk about it before about how Kevin James' character would be the next Mr. Buttons. And
Was that Mr. Buttons?
That was Mr. Buttons. Because that's why Sandy runs up,
What did it?
hey, Mr. Buttons is dead, ha ha! And he's like, oh, it's terrible. He's like, no, it's great, because now your slot's opened.
What did? I wasn't really. I was kind of falling asleep. So why did Mr. Buttons kill himself? I don't really remember.
They don't set it up.
Yeah.
He just
It's
kills
a
himself.
random joke.
Yeah.
It's like, what if a guy hung himself and his puppets? It's like the joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny.
Is it though?
It's kind of funny.
Is it though?
Maybe
Just a little bit.
probably
Just a
like
little bit.
probably because he was an old, washed-up comic that no one really.
Like the idea of a
watches
puppet.
anymore.
I know marionette. Is that someone who controls the puppet, or is that the puppet itself? I don't. Anyway,
A ventriloquist.
ventriloquist. Oh yeah, it's not even puppets. It's a ventriloquist. Okay, sorry.
Can we talk about the one part where the guy from Heroes walks in like, Sandy,
Oh, yeah.
you used to be nice to me, and now I'm big. Call me. I was like, oh, he's gonna call him. Then never comes back
Yep.
up. What was the point of that scene? He's like,
Heroes, the
It's-
TV show.
yes.
Oh, I don't know who that was.
Remember the guy with the girl with the Japanese outfit, the
Milo
hot girl,
Ventimiglia.
and that's when he rips off the page.
Yeah.
He's like, Sandy, you were good to me. Now I'm a big agent. Call me. And he never comes back up. I thought that was gonna be like a big point later on in the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that just kind of happen. And
There's
then,
a lot of setups, no payoff.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how you do a joke, dude. I mean, easy for us to say. We haven't made a feature, but
that's true.
maybe one day.
So the overarching plot of this movie is Sandy Wexler is this manager / agent, and he finds this talented singer at a carnival or Coney Island type thing,
Yeah.
and he signs her, and
I think it was at Disney. It was at Six Flags.
okay, and
Magic
she
Kingdom.
makes one song that's a hit, which I mean is funny, and
No, it was the whole album, I thought.
Yeah. She makes one song that skyrockets her, and then she gets another deal to do another album. I think.
You didn't
And-
watch the same movie, dude.
I mean, he was falling asleep.
It was amazing.
and so it's a love story.
How's that?
I mean, it turns
It's-
into
it's
turns into a love story,
About an hour in.
Oh, that part I thought was so weird that they get married at the end. A 6-year-old man and like a 24-year-old girl.
but when they kiss in the middle, I was like, wait, what?
And then they had sex.
They did, and then she leaves
I
for New
almost
York.
called my parents. I was
Yeah.
like, I cannot watch this.
They bang, and then she leaves, and I'm like,
Yeah, they don't even
nothing
set
is
that up.
making any sense.
Mhm.
Like I want it to make sense. I have chicken crust.
It's almost like
in
the
my
whole
shorts.
middle was like a
Mhm.
mess. Actually, it's almost like the whole beginning, middle, and end was a mess.
Yeah.
What matters is that it had a scene of a ventriloquist killing himself, and that's all I needed. That's literally all I needed.
Yeah, that part you laughed so hard on and that.
He's like pretending to sneeze, like.
There are 4 scenes that
What's the fourth?
that got a genuine laugh out of me, and that's the first time when he
When he
does
falls.
That. He falls.
I was laughing at him. I was
Yeah.
like, that's so dumb, dude.
I thought it was funny. And
He's
then-
like, wow!
He
exactly.
walks over a
he
table.
like walks. He comes into his house and
I'm
he
the
like
king of
sees someone.
Hollywood.
He's like ah, and he like breaks through this thing and falls.
He essentially dives through the table.
I thought that was funny. And then there's the scene where he smashes the raccoon and it shatters everywhere. That was funny. And then the scene where he rips the page out of the magazine. I thought that was funny. And then lastly, I thought the ventriloquist killing himself. Was
You're right,
funny.
you're right.
Oh, and the dead husband. Five.
And also,
That was disturbing, dude.
when Kevin James' character was playing, when he had like a stroke or something, and they were in the business meeting.
I was just like, dude, this is
That
crazy
was-
at this point.
That was just like absurd. It was funny.
And then it cuts to Jimmy Kimmel saying
Yeah.
like he died that day, and I was like, if he dies,
That would have brought that
that
up.
would have been
like,
funny.
That would have been a 5-star film.
Yeah.
If he dies and it just turns into like depressing funeral, and then you hear aha, and that cuts to black for set up for a sequel.
Do you think another actor in the same role could have made this movie better?
I feel like if Simple Jack, that character, you are Simple Jack. If that Ben Stiller from Tropic Thunder, that would have been funny, dude.
Yeah.
All right, let's all
You
hold in. Have a muffin break.
Muffin break. Muffin
We'll
break.
see you guys on the commercial.
The thing about our fans is that they suck.
And we're back.
They're all a bunch of filthy. Oh.
So from this movie, I think this movie suffers from one thing. That's like a lack of understanding of like perspective. Because from the perspective of the singer that he signs, it's kind of a boring movie because we all see him get signed, rises, falls. You know. But from the manager's point of view, that's kind of interesting. But it doesn't focus enough on his and her relationship. And it doesn't commit itself to the love story aspect enough.
And I
For it
feel
to
like
work.
too, his character is very, very unlikable for the first 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
And it was part of the arc, so I kind of forgave it at the end. But he was always lying. He's always like, he hits the light. They're like, did you turn the light off? He's like, no, I didn't turn the light off. And it's like, dude, you fucking... He's almost being... It's not funny, though. It's almost like he's being a dick, you know?
I didn't really get that. I like...
His arc was...
He had unlikable qualities, but I didn't think... Like,
I definitely...
He's not a good character.
He's not a good... I feel like he wasn't a good character, and I feel like he was like the bad guy. There's a part where like, Arsenio Hall is like, you should be in my show, and she's like, no, she doesn't want to be in your show. And then the other guy has to get her on the show. I'm like, I agree with the other guy. I don't agree with...
Well, I was kind of hoping it would be a flip of perspectives, and it would be... Sandy wants her to make another album, but the other dude wants to milk the single.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been cool.
But that would have been the smart way. Instead, they did the not smart way. You know? And later, there's an excuse for it. Later, they're like, Sandy, you can't be lying. That's why Albert left you, Weird Al.
Yeah.
You can't be lying. So his arc was that at the end he's not lying, but they don't show that too much. He's just like, hey, I think you shouldn't go with these guys and you should marry me, and happy ever after.
Yeah.
By the way, we just saw La La Land. Let's copy that scene in the
at the very end
in the Griffith
with the
Observatory.
Yeah.
Like the concept, I kind of see the concept. The concept, deep down, is it's like a Michael Scott character. We kind of talked about this earlier, where it's like a Michael Scott character where on the surface he's kind of annoying, but deep down he's got a heart of gold and everybody loves him. Because even at the modern scenes, they're like, oh, Sandy's great, great guy. But you never...
It's always tell, not show. They don't show too much.
No, they don't really flesh it out at all. And they make him more annoying than he does likable things, but the combination of like his voice and just there's no heart to it. He's not you don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, Sandy's a good guy. He cares about his people that he represents. Cut to Nick Swartzen almost getting killed every shot. Which I love Nick Swartzen. I feel like he wasn't a funny character in this. He was kind of like miserable, and then it was kind of cheap like gag jokes. He's like, oh, my leg, and just like falls off a cliff and doesn't die.
Can we talk about one scene where the single gets big or whatever, the singer wants to jump in the pool. Don't mind if I do. And he's like, no, don't jump in the pool. She puts her foot in the pool. He's like, get back here. She goes back. And then the guy gets the pool net and
that was
pole
so
vaults
random.
into the pool.
Oh
we were both
God.
like, what?
I was just
like, what
concerned.
the hell? It was.
I didn't know we could break the laws of physics in this movie.
Yeah.
He pole vaults off a plastic metal like fishnet.
That should have completely snapped.
Jimmy, roll the clip. Unless we don't have a clip. Because you see in the wide, the thing's like, 5 feet? Then it cuts to the VFX shot, and it's like 20 feet. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. It was really dumb.
Do you think this film is better than Jack and Jill?
I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna say yes.
To be fair, I haven't seen Jack and Jill.
I have, so that might have to be the next blind
Yeah,
find.
you're the ultimate opinion. Please go.
I hardly remember Jack and Jill though, honestly.
Please God, make it.
I feel like it didn't feel as long, and it was a little funnier just laughing at what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. And finally, what would be your guys' idea for a sequel? If they were to make
Fuck my
a
life.
sequel
I got
to
this,
Sandy
bro.
Wexler. Pitch your idea.
Okay. My sequel, the year is 2065.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Sandy Wexler's with a Z.
No.
Sandy Wexler, being himself, his next client is Elon Musk.
Okay.
He's like, Elon Musk, I want to be your agent. And Elon's like, and Sandy Wexler's like, come on. And then he's like, all right. Elon Musk is like, okay, but I need you to go through this cloning process. Sandy Wexler goes through the cloning process.
No.
Partway through, though, it clones, it malfunctions. It's a glitch in the system. And it clones a Sandy Wexler that's a brain-eating zombie. Elon Musk can't stop the machine in time. So it just keeps cloning them. Just keeps coming out. So it's like Call of Duty Zombies. They just keep coming. And it's like, oh, Atkins diet. And so it's Sandy Wexler with a Z. And there's just people running away from him, trying to kill him, but all these Sandy Wexler zombies just keep eating. And Elon Musk has to get get help from Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart, the sassy friends that must learn to work together if they want to save the world.
We need Elon Musk in like a tank top, and he has a sawed-off shotgun.
And this is also like a Jack and Jill tenfold with all the different clones.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And they can all be like male and female clones as well, just to have the excuse for Adam to wear that wig.
My idea would be.
And for sexist jokes.
Yeah. My idea would be. It's a couple years down the line. Sandy Wexler and Courtney, whatever her name is, I don't know what her name is. The singer.
Courtney
Carter?
Courtney, yeah, something like that.
They're married. And he's getting huge. He's getting like actual clients, like A-list actors, top bands, all this shit. And she is underperforming. She like strains her voice or something. She's not selling out arenas anymore. And it's about him.
Please tell me he marries Jeff Dunham.
Kevin James and Jeff Dunham. Kevin James practically plays Jeff Dunham. And so it just goes off and becomes like La La Land meets what's that movie?
Explain it to me, dude. Explain the movie and I can name it.
It's Adam Sandler and Kevin James get married.
Oh, fuck. They're the firefighters.
For the
God, it's not I Love You Man or something. It's
no,
something like,
it's
I'll look it up.
they get married for the benefit, the like tax benefits.
Yeah,
or whatever.
what is it? It's something like
Morty.
I saw that when it came out.
Did you really?
Dude, I was like 5. Oh, Schindler's List.
That doesn't sound right.
Oh, sorry, wrong page. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like La La Land meets I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
That sounds fucking awful.
Yeah, well, guess what else was awful?
This movie.
Sandy
Blind
Wexler
Finds.
and Blind Finds episode.
I'd probably hang myself with a clown.
I got a question for you guys. Would you rather watch that again 10 times or this episode 10 times?
This episode 10
I
times.
am gonna watch this episode 10 times, editing the shit.
You count.
We're not even gonna talk about the movie anymore. We're just gonna enjoy this good food.
Can we all do a little?
I feel like this camera's really close and it gets like
Hey,
all
let's
the food.
let's do a toast.
Okay.
All right, boys. This is a toast to, yeah.
Woo.
Man, that's a good root beer.
That is good root beer.
I love root beer.
Probation.
Master probation.
So, would you guys buy this film?
No. I can understand why, like I was telling you earlier, that this is a good movie it's a Tuesday night, you're done with school or work or whatever.
You're about to shoot yourself, so you need something to back you
You're
up.
about to shoot yourself, well, you're going to shoot yourself on Wednesday, but like Tuesday night, you just need a movie to fall asleep to. And you're just chilling out. It's on Netflix, you can hit the remote. You just fall asleep to Zaxby or whatever the fuck this movie's called. And it's
Sandy Wexler.
Sandy Wexler. And then,
Zaxby's
you know, you can fall, like this, like, I would fall asleep to this movie. It's not bad, it's not atrocious.
Yeah. I did.
It ain't
fall
no
asleep.
Schindler's List, but it's leaning towards atrocious.
I did fall asleep during this movie.
I fell asleep during this movie too, so
I could not. I tried to watch the first time.
I was wide awake, man. Would I buy this? I don't think I would buy this unless I saw it for like free. No, if someone paid me.
What would it take for you to watch it again?
That's a good question.
Would you?
If I was drugged, pulled into a room.
If
I
we
have
were
eyes
playing a
to-
drinking
I feel like
game
this is
where
what they
every time he does the loud laugh, we took a shot. Every time he does that, we take a shot.
I would quit drinking, dude.
Yeah, you may be.
I feel like this is what they show terrorists in the interrogation room. They're like, oh no.
Yeah, it's just like
This is what the aliens
a
watch,
10-hour
and they're
movie.
like, "No, Earth is not worth invading." They're like,
Launch the asteroid.
they're like, forget it.
So yeah, I mean, if I'd say what it would take me to buy this would be if someone paid me like $25. Because I would kind of want to see the extras on this. And I don't think you can buy this though.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on. It's a Netflix exclusive. So. And then, who? So who would you guys recommend this to?
Everybody who still thinks Adam Sandler is Happy Gilmore and they keep watching his movies. Anyway,
I would say
if you like Adam Sandler now, you're gonna watch it. Like,
Yeah.
you can't convince people to watch this. The audience has already been reached.
I feel like I would recommend this movie to Adam Sandler and his gang because they would love watching.
It'll be a nice
this.
home movie in like 10 years. It'll
I
be
mean, yeah, it's like there's that little niche group of people that like his comedy.
like
and-
my dad likes some of his modern stuff.
yeah.
Cause he's like, oh, he's Happy Gilmore. Like, yeah, kinda, you know.
Yeah.
If this makes him happy, then you know, who's to say you can't watch it? Me.
Film snobs.
Film students.
I'd say this is the Citizen Kane of Adam Sandler films,
Yeah.
and
100%.
The Punch Drunk Love is the Citizen Kane of
I
Adam.
didn't say it in a good way.
What?
It was probably one of the best shot Adam Sandler films.
It is well shot.
It
I
is
like
very-
how
Yeah.
Well, it goes from being shot like a nice studio comedy from the 90s to being shot like a TV show from 2011, and it kind of goes in between.
It's.
You know, when it's in the 90s, like nice zone, it looks good.
Mhm.
Looks pretty good. It's all right. It's all right. It ain't no Country for Old Men. But I mean, all comedies look the same now, for the most part. They're all just like,
Edgar
hey,
Wright,
let's just
Edgar
write.
Wright.
I mean, those.
Trigger alert, Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
That's true.
I feel like a lot of comedies though just have, hey, light everything to make people know that it's a happy movie.
Ghostbusters. I didn't see that.
You have not seen Ghostbusters?
No.
I haven't seen it in a while.
The new one.
And then the reboot. Soft
Oh.
reboot.
Yeah, no, I was on. That's the only one we're talking about.
Where you hate women?
No, I love women. I hate men. That 1980s movie?
I hate the men part of women. Woman?
Yeah, why is it one man?
Yeah.
Why isn't it just whoa?
Yep. Men and Whoa.
Whoa. I'm way too sober.
Alright, guys, thanks for watching this episode of Blind Finds. Tune in next week for a new short. Or was it commentary? We'll have to find out next week.
You have to subscribe.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. You can comment below if you want. If it's something negative, don't bother. Just kidding. You can if you want. We accept criticism.
It's the most passive aggressive. You can subscribe if you want. You know, you're just gonna miss out on some content if you don't.